The following podcast contains adult language, profound stupidity, hardcore nudity, and drug references. Children should not be listening to it. Everybody else can fuck a buck or rock off.
Nailed it. And welcome to Plotty Time, the podcast where we three gamers discuss video game stories in detail with all the necessary and appropriate backlash. My name is Poppascotch, and with me, as always, is Chump Slap.
Hey!
Thank you, Chump Slap. And then on the other side over there, we have Dr. Syintist.
You're both just an embarrassment.
No shit.
Yeah, like we didn't need to be told that. But, you know.
And I thought I was unprofessional.
Well, while we're talking about being unprofessional, what have you been doing this week, Dr. Syintist? What have you been playing? What have you been watching? What's going on?
I played Borderlands 2 some. I did the Magic pre-release and sucked at it. I saw the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet. How was it? I'm assuming it was like all the other Marvel movies and just awful.
Yeah. I mean,
Piece of garbage.
Yeah, they're always so rough to watch.
yeah, it was rough. I don't even know how I stayed in there for 2 hours. But no, it was good. I mean, it was an end game. But
They set the bar too high.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't even as good as Captain Marvel, but it was still awesome.
Something just feels wrong about Spider-Man not being in New York.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that he's in Europe the whole time.
Like,
Really?
I get it. It makes sense, but...
That doesn't make sense.
Well, he's on a school trip. They explain it away.
I thought it was called Homecoming. Or was that
No, that was the first one.
Oh.
This is Far From Home. Idiot.
Yeah, get with the news.
I don't know anything.
So, watch anything else this week? Any UFO documentaries or Sasquatch videos on YouTube? What?
No.
Just not what? Okay.
Right, it's just a fountain of conversation.
Yeah. Well, you're done talking about Spider-Man, so I was kind of done with the whole thing.
Yeah, you can talk about more Spider-Man. Just
No. What did you do this week?
Okay. I guess we'll move on to me. While we're talking about shameful things we did, I
kinda
played
do
a
want
lot
to
of the
know.
Division 2.
Did you get to level 501 yet?
There is no level 501.
Oh, then what are you doing?
I am grinding away for an exotic holster.
Ooh, just to get all exotics?
Is it
Pretty much.
Is it like Gila monster skin or something? What's exotic about it?
Just the rarity. You have to, at first, kill this one guy to get a vintage leather belt, and then you turn that in. And then you have to go... You know what? I'm not even going to get into it.
It sounds dumb already.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be hilarious if I went through the whole thing, and I'm like, no, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
Why would that be funny?
It wasn't funny at belt.
I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Thanks, Chump Slap.
No problem.
I also went and saw Yesterday.
What?
Which one's that?
The new one, the Beatles one by Danny Boyle, where the guy wakes up
Oh,
and
where the
all of
Beatles-
a sudden the Beatles don't exist anymore.
Perfect world.
Yeah, it was good. It was it was a feel-good movie. It was pretty light, but
I heard the Twin Towers were in it.
Oh, what are you
twin
saying? The Beatles knocked down the Twin Towers?
Yeah, like if the Beatles didn't exist, 9/11 wouldn't have happened.
That sounds right.
I don't recall seeing that. But I was eating a lot during the movie, so I might.
What a
very
surprise.
possible
Yeah,
I
I'm
would've-
shocked. How many hot dogs this time?
He's going after Joey Chestnut.
They won't serve me more than 10 at a time. Pieces of shit. I'll get the last laugh. But it was good. It was a good movie. It was turn off your brain and watch it. And if you like the Beatles, it's fun. And I also wanted to catch up because I saw Legion started their 3rd season.
Really?
And I had kind of bailed on the show after like 3 episodes into the 2nd one.
Trying to remember how the second one ended.
I didn't remember anything, so I rewatched the 1st season, and holy shit is Aubrey Plaza great in that. Like, she's really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she plays a psychotic thing, but...
She plays like an avatar of a demon. I guess a demon? An ancient being that lives in someone's consciousness? I don't know, but she
they're all part of Legion's conscious.
They're all Legion. I don't know what that means, but
Then why'd you say it? Because now I'm really confused.
He was right, though. So be confused.
Because Legion's always a bunch of people acting as one.
Yeah, I guess you didn't follow Legion in the comics, did you?
What's a comic?
They stand up in front of a crowd and make jokes.
Oh, like you mean like Jeff Dunham?
Yeah.
Right, except they make jokes.
Oh, taking shots at
Heads up,
Jeff.
Got him. It's only funny if we keep punching up.
Hope he
If we
said
start
something
making
about
fun
it.
of like, yeah, if we start making fun of like Tekashi 6ix9ine, it won't be funny anymore. Is he in jail? You know, it doesn't matter. So,
Witness protection.
Yeah, he's an orc.
well, I mean, that pretty much takes care of what I did. What about you, Chump Slap? What'd you do?
I'd watched Stranger Things season 3, all 8 hours in 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's not that long, early.
Not for me. For normal people, yeah.
I also watched it. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't remember what happened in season 2.
I liked it.
I liked it. I think overall I really liked it, but
Is the second season when she's with the police guy in the hidden...
yeah, in the cabin.
Yeah, okay.
And she meets her sister in the second season.
I don't remember that
She
at
runs
all.
away or something.
And she didn't show up in the third season, did she? Her
No,
sister.
not at all.
That whole group.
Oh,
was
yeah,
expecting
now
that
I
to
remember
happen.
that.
Yeah, like
Well, don't ruin the season 3 for me now, Poppascotch.
Well, the punks don't show up. Just so you know.
Wow, thank God. Do we even have to watch it now?
It's not worth it now.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh
Screw
Punks, or
that.
whoever they are.
I thought it was good, but I mean, like, I couldn't see them making a new season. But
Well, I thought they should have ended after season 1, but...
yeah, well, they couldn't. Like, you can't.
It's too big. It's
Yeah.
too big. They couldn't just abandon it. I really liked season 2. I think I need to watch season 3 again to see how I really feel. But I enjoyed it. I didn't wasn't bored watching it like I was with this fucking game movie. But we'll get to that. So, anything else you watched? Anything? Did you play anything? Did anybody play anything this week besides me?
I played Borderlands 2 a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I turned my PlayStation on.
Really?
Let's just
Yeah, for like
Start.
10 minutes. Just to find my weed dealer on it. I was like, I lost your number.
Oh, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Good God. Oh, I also forgot to tell you guys I just recently purchased a Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
I lost what little respect I had for you.
Well, you're going to play
I mean-
Breath of the Wild?
It's about the only game on it.
I'm sure there's a Metroid.
No, there's not a Metroid.
There's going to be.
Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
I was playing Breath of the Wild for a bit, and then I downloaded the new Mario Kart and the new Mario Odyssey to see how those are.
Mario Odyssey's not bad.
I bet you Mario Kart's just like Mario Kart.
Yeah, I bet you race some carts around the track.
No shit.
There are zero surprises, and it's still fun as shit, probably.
Yeah.
What are the free games for PS Plus this month? Didn't they change
Speaking
one up?
of,
Yeah.
yeah, it was PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, and apparently at the last minute, or like a day or two before, Sony pulled it and then and replaced it with Detroit Beyond Human.
Oh, I
That's
should
right.
download that. Maybe I did.
I think I put it on my queue. That's why I signed on.
Maybe that's why.
It
I
just
kind of
happened.
remember that now that it says that. Because you maybe I didn't. You were getting because downloading Heavy Rain also.
Yeah, that's right. I did. I went to download it and it automatically started downloading Heavy Rain. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm fine with not playing Heavy Rain ever again.
Yeah, I don't plan on
It was
playing
good.
it.
I enjoyed it, but
Well, Chump Slap never played it.
Yeah.
oh well, then yeah, go for it.
I'm a fake gamer. Oh,
Become Human, I think, is good. I'm gonna.
it sounds like a good one.
I
I'll
gotta check
give it a
if I downloaded
chance.
that.
I already wasted the bandwidth downloading it, so.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess anybody else have any news? Anything it's been slow for video game news. There's not much going on.
It's been a slow life for me. I don't really got much going on.
Has any news or any content or anything at all in the last week come on that has you guys excited for something? Like literally anything at all.
No,
Does Taco Bell have something new coming out?
I don't know. They might be in between marketing campaigns.
Damn it! I hear McDonald's is having a new marketing campaign with like the favorite foods from around the world, like a special
Oh yeah, they do have that.
special McFlurry and shit.
Well, that's right. I did see that. I didn't go for. I don't like ethnic foods. So, I didn't go.
Yeah, so I stay away from McDonald's.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Those German burgers.
And their French fries.
Hashtag land of the free.
Home
Oh,
of the
boy.
bravest.
Well, I'm just glad assholes are gonna stop blowing off fireworks when I'm trying to sleep every night.
No, they don't. They don't stop
For like another 2 weeks maybe, but
Yeah.
No, they probably got a couple left over. They forgot we're in the trunk of their car.
yeah, I went to see Spider-Man on the 4th of July, and I thought to myself, this is such a great country where pay teenage kids minimum wage to make them play a
Yeah.
movie for me.
They have to.
Me and the 2 other people in the theater.
I thought about going out just to like see who had to work.
Them and the people at Taco Bell. The fine folks at Taco Bell who gave me my dinner afterwards.
Oh, that's America for you.
Yeah.
Hashtag land of the free.
I spent more on the movie and the food than they would have gotten paid for the 3 hours it took me to do both.
Oh, that's so sad and great.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find news. There's nothing. I heard. Nope, that's old news. Never mind. I got nothing.
Stranger Things. Oh, we already said that.
It steals some stuff from that time we talked a lot.
Well, we already have a couple minutes. This is plenty.
All right, well then let's go ahead and get to the game. How about it?
Let's get into it.
Alrighty.
All right, first, has anybody played this game at all?
I did.
Okay, and did you enjoy, love, hate? How'd you feel about it?
Enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't as good as other RPGs around this time, but it was all right.
Okay, rad.
How many hours you put in it?
I platinumed it, so a lot probably.
Probably like 200, 150.
No, probably like
90.
80, 85.
But this game we are going to talk about today is the PC, Mac OS, PS3, Xbox 360 classic Dragon Age Origins. It was released November 3rd, 2009, developed by BioWare. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. They're pretty new.
They're pretty sweet.
And then published by Electronic Arts. Fantasy game. Written by a guy by the name of David, and I think his name is Gaider. Gaider. Gator?
Gator.
They
Gator,
call him the
maybe? I don't
Gator.
know. The Gator?
Yeah, you never heard of him?
David Gator.
Johnson.
Gator Tot.
He also wrote Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the game, and he went on to do Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. So we see that a lot, like people doing the same series.
Yeah, it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, I guess who picked this game? Was it you, Syintist?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you give us a brief introduction to the story, and we'll go from there.
Well, it's a fantasy world kind of thing, and every 100 years or so, there's what they call a blight that attacks the world, where these zombie-like darkspawn come out and attack everybody.
I thought it was like 400 years.
Well, that's the archdemon for 400 years.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that.
Ooh, yes, we do.
And the only people who can fight them back are a group of people called the Grey Wardens, who every 100 years fight them and repress the darkspawn and save humanity. And yay! And
So I gathered from that you could be a trained badass Grey Warden, and just your whole life is in between those 400 years when the bad guys didn't show up.
yeah, you could be a Grey Warden and never fight a single darkspawn.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Especially if you died. Like, you were trying to be one, and you died during the initiation.
Yeah, I don't know how they do
Oh,
the
yeah.
initiation when they weren't any
Yeah.
around, but
Oh, that would suck. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
and then this game after you pick your class and race, there's 6 different origin stories, and depending on what you pick is your origin story. They didn't show that in the movie. But like every dwarf has something, and mages start somewhere else, and you all end up at the same place, but everybody has a different origin on how they got there,
Okay.
depending on what character you make.
But all the races have different backstories. So
Well, sort of, yeah. And the mages, depending on no matter what your race is, a mage starts somewhere, and then.
but do they all? They're all going to be Grey Wardens, right? It's not like that's where the game starts, is you becoming a Grey Warden.
Yeah, the guy, your mentor, I think his name was
Duncan.
Duncan. Yeah. No matter which story you have, he comes there and recruits you.
Gotcha.
Are you just like chilling around and this guy's like, hey, we're looking for Grey Wardens?
I think like some Darkspawn attack and you help fight him off eventually. I don't remember exactly how each story starts, but he kind of recruits you into it.
And he's like, damn, you're good with a sword.
Yeah.
Come play with my sword.
I think he probably phrased it a little bit differently, but
Yes.
what do I know? You know?
I wasn't there.
I didn't play 80 hours of it.
Dude, that was 10 years ago.
Damn.
That's right. And that would have been 10 years ago, would have been, what, 8 years?
After 9/11.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
just barely.
Just barely.
A little bit more than 8 years after. But yeah, he recruits and you go do the. I think in each story though, you do the ritual to become one, and the other you do it with two other guys, and I think they die and you live.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Yeah, it's.
I love that ritual, dude. That was fucking. Here, drink this blood. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
The
There's no preparation either.
other guy's like, I got a family. Too bad. Stabs you. So you don't want to drink the blood, you're going to die. That was dumb. I didn't understand that.
It's just part of the.
Did they teach you secrets before you drink the blood? That he's like, you can't not drink the blood.
No.
Yeah. So
I'm just why wouldn't they do that in the very beginning?
I assume they do.
You know what I mean? No, because like before they start training them, you know? Like if this were the army, it would happen like when you're getting your hair cut and getting your uniform at boot camp.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
like-
they,
but it's doing it
drink
now
this
when
blood.
you graduate from boot camp.
yeah.
Right. Like so they put all that time and effort and relationship building into these guys and showing them how important they are, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you might just die. The last step.
Yeah, why even waste the resources?
I think it's to
For no reason.
see if you're ready to face the evils and death and whatever. I don't know, I'm just making that up.
Oh,
That
it's
sounds
like
about
the
right.
final.
Yeah.
It kind of seems silly not to do it, especially if you're going to die if you don't do it.
Right. It just seems like a bad attrition rate when 66% of your team is dead.
Well, I mean, if you
right
start
out of
picking
boot camp.
apart all plans, they all sound stupid.
He'd be like, damn, he was really good at fucking sword fighting. Too bad he died.
Yeah.
We could have really used, I have his name written down, Georgie. His ass is dead.
He's pretty cool.
But
Yeah, it's just not a great system. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
maybe different times, you know, different headspace, maybe.
well, I mean, yeah. And I mean, they're going to die either way, so why not let them live a little bit before they die? Or you're just annoyed at wasting the resources of teaching them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just kind of annoyed at all of it. Actually.
They're saving the world. They have to.
Why not just slip it in their coffee one morning?
I don't like my coffee. Drink your coffee.
Drink it, or I'll kill you.
Yeah, Georgie might still be alive if you made it go in his coffee. I have written in my notes, Jory dies because he is a wuss.
It might be one out of the three of you dies. I don't remember, but
No, they both die.
oh, do they? Yeah, okay.
Because he kills the guy because he doesn't want to drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he might have survived if he drank it, but he stabs him in the chest. And then when you drink it, you have, like, these crazy visions of the dragon and shit.
That's because you drink it to infect yourself with
The taint.
the taint. Yeah, they call it the taint.
Now, who let that get
Which,
through?
yeah, that's
What else would you call it?
literally anything else.
The mark?
The taint? Oh, damn, you're right.
The grundle?
The chewed.
The devil's driveway. Oh God! Every time I heard it, I'm like, this is tough. It's hard to take seriously.
I know. I didn't.
It's like we need to get them.
Wow, you two need to grow up.
Wait, what?
Probably.
Yeah, right. All right. Anyway, so we're not even at the start of the game yet. We're in the opening cutscene, and they decide that you are. Well, they don't decide. You don't die, so you get to fight and possibly die.
Yep.
Right? Aren't the Darkspawn are attacking them?
Yeah, they're traveling towards Ostagar.
Which is like the southernmost part of the kingdom.
Yeah.
But where are they attacking in the beginning? Is that Ferelden?
Well, that's the name of the
That's
nation.
like the United States. And
Yeah.
then
Ostagar's the
Oh.
city that they're
Like
coming
Texas.
towards. Yeah, you can think of it like that.
A lot of terms got thrown at me that I didn't understand. So I'm trying my best.
Dude, it's a place inside of a bigger place. I mean, I'm pretty sure it says it in every game.
It's like city states. Come on now.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, well, they're attacking. You fight them off.
Yeah, and they give you the job to go and light the beacon at the top of the tower to signal. What's his
One if
name?
by air, two if by sea.
No, that's the Revolutionary War.
Shit. Did
Low
I watch
grain?
the right video?
Probably not. To signal Lograin to attack. So you fight your way through up to the tower and light the beacon, and Lograin retreats because he's a scumbag.
Oh, do you like the beacon? I
Yeah.
thought the tower was destroyed.
No, it's burning, but he just retreats.
Oh. I was wondering what happened to that douche.
No, he's just like, all right, they lit it. Let's get out of here. And then everybody turns around, and then the Grey Wardens end up getting slaughtered by,
What's the point of lighting it? To tell them to come in?
yeah.
What did he tell all his?
So he can flank them, I guess.
He tell all the guys. Well, once they light that tower, that means they did it.
I'm not Sun Tzu here. I don't know exactly what their plan was.
No, I think you were correct in the flanking. Like, it was to tell them that they reached a certain point
Yeah.
and you can come in from the side and take him out. But then, what was the name of the guy who just bailed?
Lograin.
Logain,
I
and he
think his
just
name Logain.
Logain, yeah.
Logain, and he is. If I watched this and read this correctly, he is just basically doing that to seize power.
Yeah, he's kind of a scumbag, and he just wants to take control of.
He just wants the king to die?
Yeah, because the king's there fighting, and he's kind of leads them for dead. Then he leaves all you for dead too.
Like a lot of characters right now that you think are going to be a big part of the game are all fucking dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Kalen. He's like, oh, man, this guy seems badass. And then, boom, he's crushed by a fucking demon. It's so awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Like crushed good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, maybe he got. No, he's gone. He is gone. And then what happened after that? Didn't he go to tell Queen and Nora? That's what I have written down. He returns to Denerim.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it? Denerim to tell Queen and Nora of Kylan's death.
Yeah, and he
Kylan was Queen and Nora's husband.
Yeah.
kind of blames it on the Grey Wardens.
Man, what a scumbag move.
Was he like, the Grey Wardens did it?
Yeah, they did it. I tried to fight and I couldn't.
I couldn't fight. They were all just pushing me away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then Nora becomes the queen? Well, she was the queen.
Standing king, I guess, for now.
Okay. King pro tempore.
Yes.
Words are dope. Anyway.
Especially Latin ones.
And where's this? I have something says you were saved by.
Yes, because you end up living, you and Duncan, and I believe Alistair's there,
Yeah.
and saved by Flemeth,
Flemeth.
who's like a witch of the woods. She's like an old haggy type witch.
That you're not supposed to trust. Those are supposed to be bad people in this
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, sort of. And then her daughter Morgan goes with you.
And Morgan's got like that skimpy shit on. Her tits are just flopping around.
Yeah, she's a witch also.
Well, of course.
Did I see in that cutscene video that there was a sequence where she just had a titty like hanging out?
Yeah. Both her titties.
Yeah, okay.
We're just hanging out. She had like a string dangled around her neck as a dress. It was
It was
weird.
basically a necklace.
Pretty
Pretty
much.
thick chain she had hanging out. But so is she like that the entire game? Just
Oh, she can get.
unclothed?
Oh, yeah, sort of.
Can she get armor and shit?
Yeah,
Oh.
but in her casual wear, she's always like that. She's a witch, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, witches love their titties hanging out.
We understand that Poppascotch doesn't understand witches from the, what was it, Bayonetta podcast. He didn't understand them at all, so I don't know if we can explain it to him now.
It has been quite some time since I've ran into a witch on the streets.
You live in D.C. and there's no witches?
There's probably.
Well, dude, I'm usually hanging out in Northwest, and they're at Navy Yard. You know, it's the different districts. You know, it's
Yeah.
complicated.
Wait.
I figured you'd hang out at the Navy
You mean
Yard.
there's smaller parts of a bigger thing?
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Shut up. Asshole. So, yeah.
And then after you're saved by them, Duncan also says that he felt an archdemon, which only comes out every 400 years or so. Doesn't come out every 100 with the darkspawn, but
Okay.
And they're like super powered, supercharged darkspawn.
So that is bad, right? That's a darkspawn witch you just said?
Well, archdemon.
The archdemon, the big guy.
Oh, the archdemon. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
dragon
still
actually, but
thinking about sexy witches. Sorry. I'm here now. I came back.
All right.
and then Duncan decides that you're going to go around and try and get allies for the Grey Warden Pact. I forget what they call it, but you have to try and go recruit more allies in the upcoming fight against the Darkspawn.
And when you fight in this game, are they like? Is it like? What are the fights like?
Kind of like Diablo-ish. You control one character, and the other three are just there.
Oh, they just do their own thing. I was
Yeah.
wondering if you'd like control them all. If it was like,
You can switch between them and make them do things, but
okay,
you can only have 4 at a time.
But at this point in the game, you're basically going to the different, I'll say, factions, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just recruiting them to join your army. That makes sense. I get that. So I get the feeling then that there's a lot of like go and be like, hey, can you come help me fight? Well, we'll help you fight if you go do this for us.
Sort of, yeah.
just a bunch of fetch quests and shit. Just
Yeah, like every other RPG out there.
is the whole
But-
point just to amass your own army?
Well, you're trying to amass this army, and you're going to fight the Darkspawn because you know they're coming. So you're just trying to get a bigger army, get ready for that, and fight the Archdemon so you can
Yeah.
kill him. But you can go through each of these factions, and there's like each one, depending on your decisions you make, different people help you.
Yeah. All right.
Like you go to the dwarves, and depending on who you pick to be, because I forget what you save. You go find a paragon, what they call, I don't even know how to describe what they are, but like elder dwarves.
Are those the wolf people?
No, those are werewolves.
Well, we get into that soon.
Oh.
Soon.
Okay.
Because I didn't understand how that fit in the story at all.
The
Yeah, I'm very
werewolves.
confused.
Yeah.
Well, you go to try and recruit the elves to your side, and they're being attacked by werewolves. So you decide to help them with their werewolf problem. And depending on decisions, you either get the werewolves on your side or the elves.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And the dwarves is the same thing. I forget. You pick between one of the two guys, and they'll help you at the end.
Oh, that makes more sense because that's why in that cutscene there was an elf dude that's like, no, we got to just kill all of them.
Yeah.
And he was like ready to throw down.
Oh.
Yeah, and the same thing with the mages. Like when you go and try and help the circle of mages, depending on your decisions, you either get the mages on your side or the Templars.
Sounds makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think it affects the outcome at all at the end, but
Just like a different final cutscene thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So what was this? All right. There's this golem or whatever guy.
He was a DLC character
Oh, really?
on your that fought with you.
I don't know. He had a crown. The guy who gave you the crown. You guys remember this?
No, not at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's like a big guy in I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a golem, but
Oh, yeah, he was like a robot or some shit.
yeah. And he was
That guy, yeah.
at a forge or something, and he just like makes this crown for you.
Yep, now I'm getting it
Oh,
because
that
I was
was-
very confused about that
That's
part.
part of the dwarf story.
Yeah, because they just threw that in the cutscene video. I was
Yeah,
like, what
they
the
kind of
fuck
they
is
kind of
that?
they kind of jumped around and didn't like.
They didn't tell you shit.
No, it was a very bad video.
I was like, oh, neat. You got a crown? Cool.
I thought it would do more of the explaining,
Yeah.
but it kind of just jumps between cutscenes and not anything else. So you recruit those 3 factions to help you, and you also recruit Eamon of Redcliffe. It's another town, Poppascotch. It's part of the bigger place.
Is the
I'm not
Redcliffe
going to get it. Like, it's not going to make sense.
is Redcliffe where like the queen and king lived?
No, they live in Denerim.
What the fuck do I?
Redcliffe is another ally that you're trying to get on your side to help fight.
Okay.
And he's like unconscious from a disease, and you have to go and try and find the cure.
I have written here that Redcliffe was the place that they attacked originally. You defend Redcliffe.
It could
In the beginning of the
be.
game,
Yeah.
that's Ostagar, because it's
I
left
thought
in
you
ruins.
had to go to. Oh, I don't fucking. I told you I was so confused.
No, I'm right there with you. I was very confused. You're just asking all the questions I would ask. Like, for example, in the cutscene movie, I guess there's a point where you can save Alistair, or you have to choose between him and someone else.
That's later, yes.
Okay, but Alistair's like your boy. He's like,
Well,
is he with you the whole game?
Yeah.
There's a sequence where he's in a fight and he gets blood all over his face. Why does that blood stay on his face the entire game?
Because they don't shower.
You don't wipe it off though.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have to.
I don't know. They all had blood all over them.
Yeah,
all the time.
Because you fight all the time, so it's probably just always
Oh
there.
yeah,
Maybe I'm just reading into it too much.
probably.
I mean, it's gonna lose some points in this out of 27 score, but whatever. Anyway.
They'll learn.
But you cure the leader of Redcliffe, and he gets on your side and blah blah blah, and he calls a lands meet. I guess is just
It's like when all the
a conclave.
yeah okay. A lands meet.
Yeah, where they're going to go to Denerim and I guess pick the new king or who was going to rule them or lead their armies or whatever.
Is that what you need the crown for?
I think the crown you're talking about was in the dwarven.
It has nothing to do with anything. All right, I'm going to dwell on this crown.
Well, I thought it was in the dwarven one because you give one of the dwarves the crown, whoever lead.
Yeah, he just gives you the crown. He's like, here, give it to whoever you want or whoever you think's deserving. All right, let's stop talking.
Yeah,
about
that's the
crown.
dwarves because then they pick which dwarf's on your side.
Okay.
Anyway, so blacksmith robot face. Do you guys remember this guy?
Yeah, it's something about dwarves.
Yeah, that's how I have him written down. Sorry.
Blacksmith. What?
Yeah, blacksmith robot face who makes the crown.
Anyway, Eamon of Redcliffe calls a lands meet, and you get all your factions and all the nobles together. And at this point, you can go and do like little things to try and get to vote with you at the lands meet
All right.
Okay.
and stuff like that. They skipped over a lot of that.
So what happens after?
So this is basically a meeting to try and get everyone to get on the same page to fight
Yes,
bad dudes.
pick a ruler and whatever, and fight the incoming archdemon and do something about it.
It also seemed to me, and I could have got a different feeling because I didn't actually play the game, but it seemed a lot like there was no real urgency here.
No, it was. You can dick around a lot.
Like log jam, he did that power play to get to be the king and be the
Logain.
lead of the
Oh.
Logain. That's it. I thought it was log jam. He did this power play so he could become king, and it's not going to mean much if your whole fucking city gets overrun by the bad guys.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was a great plan.
Yeah, doesn't he fucking put like a price on your head? Like
Well, yeah, because he somehow convinces everybody that
that the Grey Wardens are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Even though they've saved this
For
place
hundreds
for
of years.
hundreds of years. Yeah.
Right, and he showed up back at camp with his entire army without a scratch on them. No one's like,
Yeah, nobody thinks anything of it. Yeah.
yeah. So you have all your arrows you left with. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I found these. I
we
don't know.
we picked a bunch up.
They kept knocking them out of my hand. Like, you can't fight.
The Grey Wardens were just slapping arrows
Yeah.
at people's bows.
Don't shoot yourself. Don't shoot yourself.
But this is where I have in my notes that you duel
Yes.
Lil Hane.
Log jam.
Oh, jam.
You keep saying different names. This is all low gain.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right.
solo game.
Right.
Well, yeah, they like have a vote on who's gonna pick the next successor or something, and everybody sides with you if you do those quests. I'm not sure if it changes.
Yeah, if you try to speed through it and don't do
Yeah.
any quests, they're like, who the fuck's this guy?
That's pretty cool, though. I like that. How that it's like the Mass Effect 2 thing. If you do all the side quests before you start the final mission, everyone will survive.
Well, depends. They don't all automatically survive in Mass Effect 2.
No.
What?
You have to do some other stuff, but you know what I mean. You put them in a position where they can all survive.
Yeah.
Like your side quests, the amount of work you put in determines how successful you are at the end.
How much they'll stand by you,
Yeah, okay.
and if you learn more about them and put them in the right job. Mass Effect 2 is a different game. We'll have to talk about for 2 hours sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also in this game, you can romance people, and I think it was the first game maybe where you could have a same-sex relationship with somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was
pretty hot.
very scandalous at the time.
That's so ahead of its time in 2008.
Wait, it still got a lot of shit from people because
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
you could always do side quests with that and stuff, and each person had like their own side quests that you can go along, kind of just like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's a BioWare game. It's by the same people who made it, so I could see how the structure would be similar.
Yeah.
But, obviously a completely different
I'm
setting.
trying to remember if any of the characters go to the other Dragon Ages. I know Morgan and Liliana do, but I'm not sure about the other ones.
Who's Ileana?
Liliana. She's just one person who's with you probably through the whole thing. I believe she's a Templar. She's a bard from Orlais.
Oh.
So, what does Dragon Age mean? Is it just supposed to be the time when dragons walk the earth? Is that like...
I guess.
Do you see other dragons other than
I don't believe in this
the
game you do.
archdemon?
Yes, actually you do.
You do?
You can.
Are there friendly dragons?
No, I don't believe so.
Just ask the question we all know you're waiting
You
to
can't
ask.
romance the dragons.
Damn it.
There it is.
All right, whatever. Just trying to make this last a little longer.
Dancing around your fetishes. Just be open. We'll respect you more.
I doubt it.
What do you call a
More
furry
than
with
usual.
dragons?
I don't know. Scaly?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, I don't know.
A furry with dragons.
You Googling it?
No, I don't need that in my search history.
I guess you could dress up as dragons, but
Yeah, are you dressing like a plush version of a dragon? And then all boning each other? Or are you like more realistic dragon? And everyone's like a fluffy
We're
bunny
asking
and
you,
it's
Chump
like,
Slap.
ooh.
Oh. No, it's Scalies. I'm telling you. You look that up. I'm sure it's a thing.
is it 2 E's at the end of scale?
It's a Y.
Scale? Oh, it's a Y. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll Google it. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
It's like scary, but with a scale.
So it's not like scary.
No. It's kind of scary if it's your first time.
I could see that. All those sharp scales and teeth and tails around.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wings. It's
Oy.
crazy.
Oh my god, they are called scaly.
He told you.
You think I made that up? I know a lot of weird shit.
I hope you did.
Yeah, I hoped you did.
Scalies is a furry term used to describe both anthropomorphic creatures of the reptile and amphibian variety and furries that identify themselves as such or prefer the concept of such beings over furried characters. I found that definition on WikiFur, which I guess is the official Wikipedia of furries.
WikiFur?
WikiFur? Wait, yeah,
Wiki
Chump
fur.
Slap's acting like he didn't know what that was.
Yeah, what? Wiki what?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we don't really.
Maybe this will be another like crazy episode where we hashtag furries and
Hashtag
scalies.
WikiFur, hashtag Scaly.
Yeah.
It just blows up. Did you hear this new podcast? What do they talk about? I don't know. I just heard the one where they talk about furries and lizards fucking each other.
I think they were talking about a game, but I don't know.
Yeah, something about a dragon. So I just
Having sex with dragons.
I
is all
just jerked
remember.
off real quick.
Stop describing your day.
You can't kink shape me.
Where the hell were we?
I don't know. Well, we were talking about Wolfmen, huh?
Oh no, we got to the duel, right? We're gonna duel.
Yeah, you're going to dual log jam.
And you kill him.
You don't have to.
Yeah, this is the decision you need to make. Can you run us through this real quick, Syintist?
After you beat him in the duel, I don't think you can lose it. You either have to, you could choose to execute him, which is what Alistair wants, or you can have him join the Dark or the Grey Wardens or take the ritual.
Oh, yeah. Then if he joins the Great Wardens, Alistair leaves.
Yeah. But there's also a decision in here somewhere where you can choose who's the next king. It's either Alistair or Nora.
Yeah.
I don't know how this decision affects that. I don't remember. But there's all that stuff going on.
I don't see how you could just be like, hey, Alistair, you're the king now. Fuck that queen that's on the throne.
Well, you have more of a claim to it than she does. Because you're actually the bastard son of Kaelin. Alistair is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's technically royalty.
Yeah, he's the illegitimate son, I should say.
Ooh.
And what are they gonna do? Have a woman run things? Come on.
Yeah, come on. I mean, this is 2008.
It's amazing how far we've come. Anywho, so
you pick the new ruler, and you have either Loghain, join, or die.
which do you remember who you picked when you played?
I think I had him join.
You probably had
I
two
hated.
saves
I
and
didn't
had
like
to do both
Alistair,
of them.
so I wasn't upset that he left.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I let Nora be the king too.
You really didn't like Alistair.
Yeah, no, I hated him.
Why? Is he annoying?
Pretty much.
Is he like a Chad?
Yeah, he's very chatty.
I knew it.
Chaddy, but
He bros out everywhere. Let's go play lacrosse after this.
he doesn't even know what chat is, but he does.
All right, perfect. And then after this, it's the night before the final battle. So say my notes.
Yeah, and Duncan alerts you that to kill the archdemon, a Grey Warden has to deliver the final blow and then absorb the soul and ends up dying to kill the archdemon.
Yeah, because if a normal person who's not got the taint
Yeah.
kills the archdemon, then it'll just
When you kill it, it goes to the nearest darkspawn.
and just creates another archdemon.
Yeah. And if you have the taint standing right there, it goes to you instead and kills you because something to do with souls. I don't know.
Can't have two souls at
Yeah.
once, and then it's like, yeah, okay.
This is very confusing.
How's that confusing? Where are you lost, Poppascotch?
So the taint, the taint is your thing that you have that allows you to be a Grey Warden.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the taint.
That's why
So what
only Grey Warden.
Maybe this is where I'm getting lost. What does it mean to have the taint?
It means you got a little bit of demon blood in you.
Yeah. A little bit of the darkspawn essence.
Okay.
You get it when you do the ritual and live.
Yeah.
But how does that make you a better Grey Warden?
It doesn't. It just makes you a Grey Warden.
You actually have, like, you can hear their hive mind. It explains somewhere along the way. They kind of like are.
Yeah, like you understand everything that they understand. Like,
Yeah.
you know what their plan is and everything.
Sort of, yeah.
Kind of.
So it's kind of like being a spy while also making it okay. Since you're going to be battling the Darkspawn, it makes sense that you have to kill the archdemon and then its soul can go into you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit of prior planning. I still don't understand why you have to make everybody drink the blood.
So
Like-
you get the taint,
Yeah, everyone needs a taint.
and some people can't handle the taint.
You can't handle the taint.
Okay, I'm on the same page.
Are you, or are you just saying you are?
No, I mostly am. I'm getting the taint. Well, I'm not getting. You know what? All right, so you need to kill the archdemon, have the taint, have the archdemon try to get into you, and then it'll die. If it doesn't do that,
It also kills
gets
you.
Released. And it also, if it does not do that, it'll go into just another random darkspawn, and then you'll start all over again.
Yeah, there'll be another archdemon.
Yeah, see, I got that shit.
All right, you're on it.
Congrats.
Motherfucker. I got basic storytelling. What's up?
Well, I have written down here that there's a
Oh.
third option.
Well, Morrigan comes
Yeah.
and witches stuff up.
She's like, I got this idea.
What is the idea? Let's hear it.
Now, the idea is one of the Grey Wardens has to have a child with Morrigan, and that way they can just sacrifice the child, so the demon will try to go into the child and kill the baby instead of.
Well, I don't think it's going to kill the baby,
I think it would.
but she gets to keep the baby.
Oh, she did say something about raising it or whatever.
That seems like some shady witch shit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like, yeah, give me the demon.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, lady, but I don't really trust you. I mean, would you guys have given the darkspawn in a baby that you fathered with the witch lady?
Yeah.
I would have probably tried to have the baby and be like, oh man, nothing's happening.
Well, she's a witch. I think she knows what's going on.
Oh, she would know she's pregnant right away.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Morgan was the one I romanced in the game, so I don't remember exactly how this plays out if you do that.
did you have to? Is the gestation period of a witch baby the same as a human? Like,
I don't know, because it's not just a witch baby. It's also like an archdemon baby. And Grey Warden. It's kind of all those things
It's
at
like
once.
human, darkspawn, witch.
Well, I mean, it has to be faster, right? Because this is the night before the battle.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I
like,
mean, she's going to be pregnant at
oh,
the
so
battle.
it would just go into the baby in.
Oh.
Bastula or whatever the hell it's called.
So in this world, life does happen at conception.
I don't know, because it doesn't kill. It doesn't.
I wanted to get a heartbeat joke, but I didn't have one.
Well, it doesn't kill the baby, so maybe the baby doesn't have a soul yet.
Oh, that's why it goes into because it can only go into a thing without a soul.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Oh my
So
God,
maybe it
it's
isn't
so
alive.
deep.
So
But
like,
then when are they handing out baby souls? When does a baby get a soul?
I hate to tell you Poppascotch, but there aren't any souls. It's just a made up thing in video games.
Okay, I'll rephrase. In the world of the video game, when do babies get souls?
When
They
they're born.
Yeah. About 6 weeks before they're born.
Okay. That sounds so arbitrary. You just made that up.
Well, they don't go into it in this game.
Yeah. They tell you that in Dragon Age 2.
Okay.
It's a whole side quest.
Yeah.
It's a DLC.
I'm glad they cleared up for the real fans.
called When Life Begins.
Oh, Jesus. We're going to get letters.
I hope so.
I know, right? Oh, boy.
Well, that's also
Okay.
option C. Well,
Options. Okay.
there's a
so
couple of
let's
options
recap-
here.
Let's recap the options.
Okay.
Okay.
How about you recap the options?
All right.
Yeah, you're the one who thinks there's C.
There's actually more. There's you can die.
Okay.
You also have a choice of letting Alistair die. And you also have a choice of having Loghain die.
Well,
or
couldn't
you can have
any
the baby.
Grey Warden die?
Yes, but there are the
Really?
3 there.
Okay.
Maybe you can have Duncan do it. I don't remember, but
Is it an either or situation when you say Alistair or Logjam?
probably because I think you'd only have one in your party.
Right, like it's your party one. It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I made this asshole the king over here. Just go get him. Like, it's not how it works. Gotcha. Okay. Whew, this is. Well, it's a lot going on.
It's all actually making sense now.
And then so whatever you choose, you go on to the next day and it's the ultimate battle against the archdemon. You pick your party, you send the other guys off to defend the city. And one of your characters is also a dog, which is kind of awesome. I think I had him in my party the whole time.
I did see a hellhound beast of some sort hanging out in some of the cutscenes. Is
Yeah.
that what that was?
Yeah, he's just your dog and he can be a party member. He's sort of tankish.
It's not like a person that morphed into a dog or the
No, it's a
spirit
dog.
of a dog. It's just a straight up dog.
just a
Yeah.
dog.
You can't romance the dog, in case you were wondering.
Oh, the furries are not going to like
All right.
that.
Well, furries don't have sex with dogs,
Well, if it's like
They-
a person,
but it's not. It's a dog.
I don't know what this world's like.
It's not having sex. It's making love. All right.
When did we turn into a bestiality podcast?
No, we're fucking a lot of weird stuff in this one. Oh, just real quick, I thought it was also interesting when you get proposed with the decision from Morrigan. If you refuse and just say, no, we're not doing this, she just leaves the party.
Yeah, she's gone.
She was just there to get laid the whole time.
I guess, like, and have a witch baby.
Flemeth sent her to go with you and aid you in your quest.
Oh, so at this point, it's like, the quest is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Except for, this massive fight we're having tomorrow morning. But
We
Oh,
could
I
use a
know.
witch.
Yeah, does Flemeth, she ever show up again?
She's in some of the DLC and extra quests, but she's not in.
Yeah, but she just saves you in the beginning and that's it.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just help?
It's not what witches do.
Well, she did in the beginning.
Well, it's also her world. She doesn't want to run over by Darkspawn.
Oh, she's like, you're getting a little close. Get off my
Yeah,
lawn type
yeah.
of thing. All right.
get off my lawn. Like, yeah, it's the old standard of get off my lawn. Yes. But anyway, so the next day we're at the big battle now.
Yep.
And you have to. What's your mission parameter? Just fight, or do you have to go somewhere like you did in the original battle?
You try and get to the highest point so you can fight the dragon, archdemon. So you just fight your way up there, killing Darkspawn. Normal end game stuff until you get to the final battle.
So what's the dragon just flying around the city the whole time?
Yeah, blowing stuff up, doing dragon shit.
Dragon stuff.
Standard dragon shit. You
Yeah.
know all about it.
Breathing
Don't need to go into
fire.
it.
Yeah. Destroying, killing,
Classic.
Murdering.
And then
Murkins.
you end up fighting the archdemon and eventually someone deals the death blow. And whoa, world saved. The blight ends for this time.
I do have in my notes, but I don't really remember this part. You shove a sword in a demon's face and lights happen.
Yeah, that's killing the archdemon.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Whoever shoves the sword in, you don't have to be the one. But
It's like a big beam of light straight up
Yeah.
into heaven. which I assume that's where the archdemon went.
And then we get left with several endings, right? Like depending on whether you did the ritual or not, or
Yeah.
who's in your party, that whole thing.
Yeah, who you're friends with and who you pick to be kings and various little differences with the endings. Everybody's happy and moves on. Well, maybe not everybody's happy, but people move on. The world has been saved from the blight this time.
Yeah, I don't know if the queen's really happy that her king died for no reason.
And then supposedly you may have thrown someone else on the throne too while you were at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that they would be happy.
Okay. Most of the people. You can't please all the people all the time.
I guess not. Especially if they're literal royalty, but
Yeah.
But I have in my notes here, it says, if the ritual was performed, I guess when they say the ritual, they mean the baby.
Yes.
But if that happens, your character, slays the archdemon.
Mm-hmm.
And if the ritual was not performed, you have to decide if Logjam or Alistair are doing it, whichever one's in your party, and then they're going to die.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the difference of who makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, you should have left Alistair in your party to kill him at the end, huh?
No, Logjam was pretty annoying too. But
Is there a canon ending to this?
you stop the blight. I don't know what the canon ending would be because you're kind of just
Those guys
referred
don't
to,
show up again.
You're kind of just referred to as the warden in Dragon Age 2. They just referred to everything that happened, that the blight was ended. Let's look it up quick.
All right, I'll look it up. I'm just wondering if it matters in the sequel.
I think you can move decisions over, kind of like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Because it would also depend on which people you had on your side. Like all the
Yeah.
decisions you made would have to be canon.
That's what I'm saying. Because it would be weird if, like, you get there, it's like, hey, I killed Alistair, and now he's still alive.
So supposedly, this is what I'm reading, is that according to BioWare's Mike Laidlaw, who matters, I guess, the
Laidlaw.
canon version of the events from Dragon Age Origins resulted with Alistair becoming king and, presumably, the Grey Warden from the first game sacrificing him or herself to kill the Archdemon.
So you're supposed to die at the?
Yeah, because you're nowhere to be found in Dragon Age 2. I knew that. But
Oh, well, there you go.
Does Dragon Age 2, I could see that taking place for the next Blight, like hundreds of years later?
no, it happens it's different, completely different.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wouldn't say completely different. It's
Well, they're
still
like, holy shit, look at that. There's another archdemon right away.
there are a lot of dragons,
Huh.
but it's a different like,
Oh, that's why it's the Dragon Age.
yeah. There's also like
Oh.
you go to lands that are only talked about in this one, and you're there and you're kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to it at some point.
Let's hope not.
Well, we will now.
Oh,
Oh.
3 weeks from today.
next week.
So I have here to tie up the story. It ends with a ceremony with the Ferelden citizens.
Yeah.
Warden and your companions are honored for saving the kingdom, and there's like a slideshow epilogue that details your choices and what happened.
Yeah, kind of like Fallout endings.
Yeah. Okay. Boom.
I
That's it.
believe you can marry the queen too.
Wait, the Warden does?
If you live, I think you can pick that as one of the things. I think.
Yeah, because once you defeat the demon, she's like, well, now I owe you. So.
Yeah. Well, you get like one choice, like you can become king or something. But
Are you talking about Queen Anora?
Yeah.
I guess the only queen we've mentioned so far.
I also don't know what happens with Morrigan if you choose a female character. It might be the same thing that somehow she gets pregnant, but I don't know.
No, it said you can't. It said it had to be only if you choose a male character can that be a part.
Look, guys, it was 2009. It was a different time. Dudes weren't having babies back then. You know, it was weird.
Yeah, shit was weird.
And Morrigan was heterosexual. Liliana was the homosexual one.
Yeah, I knew that.
I'm pretty sure that's how it was, but I don't remember too much about it. But yeah, that's it. You saved the world. Blight ended.
Nice. And you said this was like a Mass Effect / Fallout type game where you could just bounce around the open world and do shit at your
Yeah.
own pace.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning and the end are the same, but in between, you can go anywhere and do them in any order. Visiting the elves, visiting the dwarves, doing side quests and crap.
Yeah, it seems like the Darkspawn don't have a very good
Game
battle
plan.
plan. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's an option. Is there an option where you lose the big fight at the end because you didn't recruit enough people?
I don't know. I don't think so,
doubt it.
because either way, you recruit one group. If you don't recruit the elves, you recruit the werewolves. If you don't recruit one of the doors, you recruit the other one.
Oh, so it's part of the story. You have to go through like at least 4 different places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you could lose the last battle and just have game over.
Yeah. You just die.
Yeah.
So, what is the what's the timeline of this game? Because it makes me feel like, well, it's an open world game, so I guess it could take months or however long in-game time you want to take. But at the same time, it seems like a very definitive thing that the Darkspawn are making their way to Tremalfador. Olgaranth, wherever that fucking city is.
Those sound made up.
Yeah. So what does it take place over a week, a month?
I don't know.
Do the seasons change?
I do not know. It's probably like every open world game where it's like 2 days, but you spend
it just pretends-
several days in
yeah.
between doing stuff.
Gotcha.
So there's no like daily cycle. There's
Yeah.
no sun up down.
Yeah, just like in Elder Scrolls, where I didn't go up the mountain until I was
Yeah.
done with all the side quests. So
All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you play these games. You don't
Yeah.
finish the main story till you're done with all the side quests.
yeah, and you can blow through the main story like over leveled.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I do believe the enemies level up with you in this, kind of like some of Elder Scrolls stuff. So it doesn't matter where you go; it's always going to be some kind of, I don't want to say challenge because it wasn't too difficult, but
Fair enough.
yeah, that's probably it.
Got any more questions?
Yeah, any more questions, Poppascotch? Throw my way.
I got nothing.
Except about Scalies, because I don't
No,
want to
I
talk
mean-
about him.
I mean, I don't know. I thought Alistair was pretty cool. That's
not
not a question. I was just,
Yeah.
just telling you.
Well,
Okay,
you're
well-
I didn't know anybody's opinion could be wrong.
I
But
thought
they're
the
wrong.
What kind of weapons were we dealing with in this game? I actually, by accident, didn't see any actual gameplay.
Swords,
Are there like swords, bows and arrows,
Yeah.
maces?
stabs
huge
for
axes?
wizards and stuff.
classic fucking
Yeah,
fantasy shit.
yeah, it's classic fantasy stuff.
And how was this game different than the story of Lord of the Rings? Because didn't they have those
There's no
dudes in
hobbits.
the? Well, okay,
I don't think there was a ring.
fair.
There wasn't a ring. No,
There's no ring. Okay,
there wasn't one ring to rule them.
that was the catalyst for the whole story. But wasn't there the who are the enemies in Lord of the Rings? They're
Orcs and goblins.
orcs and goblins. Weren't there? Couldn't you basically say the Darkspawn were the orcs and goblins?
Yeah,
Like
Oh,
this
could-
faceless enemy that's just pure evil.
So you're saying anything that has a good force fighting a bad force is the ripoff of Lord of the Rings?
that's basically what
Yep.
he's saying.
Okay, yeah, I believe. Yeah,
But I mean, it's a classic fantasy story. I mean, it's not anything groundbreaking. You know
Yeah,
what
it's
I mean?
Fantasy in my I've just avoided fantasy. I just never found it personally super interesting. So
yeah. Me
Yet he
neither.
watches Star Wars.
That's not
I know,
fantasy.
right?
It's huge fantasy.
It's future fantasy.
Look, I said fantasy, not sci-fi fantasy, which is obviously amazing.
That's not sci-fi.
Star Wars is.
Yes, it is.
It's a religious documentary.
All right. Are we done here?
It's basically
not.
Passion
We-
of the Christ set in the future in space.
Are you talking about RoboCop? So, what else we got from this game? I mean, that's pretty much it. Do your choices that you make carry over into the next Dragon Age game, like Mass Effect 2 to 3?
I believe some
Or is
of
this
them do.
before that?
Just like the relationships and shit.
Well, you don't even have the same people in the second.
Oh yeah, you're not even the same person.
No, you're a completely different person.
Gotcha. Okay.
But there might be like some of the world stuff that happened. Might,
Like Morgan might have a child.
yeah, I don't remember exactly how this goes. But yeah, all right. What'd you think, Poppascotch?
I thought the story was a fantasy story.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
description.
it's a world that I don't know very much about at all, so it's very hard to tell if this is a good fantasy story or a bad one, because I have no frame of reference really.
I hear you.
So that's that's kind of challenging for me. But I like that they had a. I like movies and games and stuff that has this outside impending force. They're coming. Like this is happening. And you need to basically prepare for it, get your shit together, and then a big battle ensues. Like just that style of game. I kind of like always having that tension. Like, Mass Effect.
yeah, I was just gonna say like Mass Effect.
Conceptually the same thing. But I really like that part of it. I like having, recruiting groups and getting people together. Were you always deployed with your entire group, or was it like Mass Effect where you basically go to an area with a couple of them?
You can only go with a couple of them. You might be able to change at some spots. I don't remember exactly where, in the overworld maybe. But you can only take 3 people with you.
I mean, either way, that doesn't really hurt on my score. Would I play it? I don't think I would, just because I'm not super into RPGs or fantasy, and the game's 10 years old. Yeah. Like, I would need something in the fantasy world to kind of ease me into this, which I think a good step for that would be like Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about any of those games, but I would say overall though the story worked for me. Was it amazing? I mean, no, but it's really hard to do good story and good pacing and good sense of danger when you have an open world game.
Yeah.
Because you could literally spend 8 days just fishing, and it's like, oh yeah, this whole thing's happening around me. So I would say for giving it the break for that, the story did work for me. And as far as score, I would probably give it, let's say, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it. I'm gonna give it a 15 out of 27.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. It blew my score out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just got me on a good day. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? A game will always get a high score out of me if it has a witch trying to pull a caper on somebody. I just love them. I love that subgenre.
I know. There should be more witches.
More witch chincanery. Anyway, what
Chicanery?
about you?
Yes. that's what he
Chincanery.
said. Chincanery?
What
Sean
about
Connery?
you,
Are they like scalies? I don't get it.
All right. I'll take over from here. Speaking of scalies.
What about you, Chump Slap? Did the story work for you? What'd you score it? What'd you play it?
I wouldn't play it like you. I'm not a big fan of fantasy. I mean, the whole Lord of the Rings, fucking Game of Thrones shit, done to death. I guess the story worked. I mean, it was light enough that it was the main story. I'm sure those side quests were actually pretty fun and shit, but I didn't watch or play any of that. Other than that, I really got nothing else to say about this game, except for I gave it an 11.
Okay.
11 out of 27.
All right.
Let's shoot it on over to the Syintist and see what the guy who played it says.
I wouldn't play it again because it's time consuming and I already did once.
Already platinumed it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that again. And it's 10 years old, so it's almost impossible to enjoy something like that.
Almost.
The story was kind of normal, nothing spectacular. It's kind of what you expect in a fantasy open world RPG.
Right. Plus, it's not to completely derail you here, but it's the first one. You know,
Yeah.
it's a world builder. It's not. They can't go into detail to make a completely complex story because you got to set up so much shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of descriptions that didn't even go into in the game about other countries and other cities and stuff like that, which you go to the other games in. I also gave it an 11.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. And when you say other states, is that the thing you were talking about with the things inside of other things?
Yes. There are other things inside of other things.
Are there other big things like Ferelden?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got to accept the fact I'm not going to get it. I'm just not going to get it. So what does that give us for a final score? 37?
You gave it a 15, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's 37.
Yeah, damn. Does anyone have any quotes from it?
No, I didn't get any. It was kind of just normal fantasy talk. It wasn't anything funny.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Or
it was
ridiculous.
just,
I have one.
let's hear it.
I don't know who said it, but he's like, I am the eldest, and the taint will not spare me much longer.
That's taken out of context.
It is, but still made me chuckle.
That's pretty good. I like that. Good old taint.
Yeah, there are plenty of taint quotes, I'm sure.
All kinds of taint quotes. Oh boy. So anyway, I think that's gonna go ahead, and unless you guys got something else to say about this movie, game.
No, I'm
game?
good. I'm
Game
good.
movie. Yeah.
All right. Well, then that takes us to our favorite segment of every week, which is Syintist's Lock of the Week.
Chink.
Okay.
That sounded racist.
Every week, we ask Syintist for a 100% guaranteed to win gambling pick. He has never been wrong yet. He's batting 1,000. Dr. Syintist, who do you got this week?
This week I got another easy pick, same as last week. USA over whoever they're playing in the finals. I'm not even sure.
USA.
Women's World Cup.
They're playing the Netherlands.
Yeah, we'll destroy them.
The Nederlanders.
Yeah, obviously that's a pretty easy one. We just take the win, or however many points the USA is getting, they're gonna beat that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, I don't think they're gonna.
Just do the win straight up.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
You want the lock? That's the guaranteed lock.
Fair.
Guaranteed lock.
I guess I'll have to start doing research for next week now because those two were easy.
Did you hear that, Chump Slap? I think he said it's a guaranteed lock.
Sure is. As I said 3 weeks ago, I only do it once.
I thought you were just very much misunderstanding my verbal use.
And now we'll kill time as Poppascotch looks around his room at the same stuff he looks at every week.
As we go to our very favorite segment of the week,
Chump Slap's recommendation window.
Yeah. I always picture a rainbow and my head popping out a window.
I think of it more of like Mr. Rogersy.
Yeah.
Or even like you can't do that on television.
But pop out of a locker.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know. Slime falls down.
I'll take it.
So what you got for him, Poppascotch?
Just whenever you guys are done, just,
Go ahead, shoot.
just let me know.
I'm ready.
Yeah, okay. Every week we ask Chump Slap for a recommendation, usually on whatever I'm looking at in the room. So, Chump Slap, what is your number one preferred brand of canned meat?
That's not even, that's hands down. Ooh, hold on.
Another contender enters the ring.
I was going to say Spam, but does tuna count?
It is meat in a can.
No, we're going to have to go with Spam. Spam it is. Spam a lot. Spam a little. Spam all the time.
You're welcome, Spam. So, what's the preferred method of cooking it? Do you like to fry it up? Do you like to chunk it in some mac and cheese? What's the deal?
I like to cut it in like slabs and just fry it up like little burgers. Put it on like slider buns. Some
Oh,
mustard.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call those?
Spam sliders with little mustard. I got nothing.
Oh, so I have to improvise, but no one else can. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, what do I call those spam sliders? Spliders.
Slams.
Oh, damn. That's good.
Slam.
That's what I say after I eat one.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess that does it for this week. Short one this week, so you can tell all your friends that this is by far the best episode. So,
How short was it?
I don't know. It's
it's
still
like an hour and 5-ish.
All right.
Yeah, we'll still get quality out of it.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, and if you ended early and you were expecting a whole bunch longer, go watch Stranger Things season 3, and then if they watched Stranger Things season 3 and they wanted to like write an email to you, Chump Slap, where would they send that?
They jump.
They jump.
Cut it. Let me take that again. They'd send it to plottytime@gmail.com. That's PLOTTYTIME @GMAIL.com.
Thank you, Chump Slap, for that detailed spelling of the gmail.com. So if someone thought that was a little too much and they wanted to reach out to us directly on Twitter or Instagram, where would they find us there, scientists?
At Plotty Time, on Twitter, on Instagram. Send us random shit. Go ahead.
We're gonna respond, guys. Listen.
At this point, I'm confident saying we are 100% guaranteed to respond.
Yeah. Iceland,
I
looking
mean,
your way.
One of us will.
Yeah. What's up, Iceland people? Come on, jump in here. But for now, that's going to do it for us. So everybody, I don't know, stay safe, go USA, and don't trust any witches' babies.
I'm not going to go by that last one.
Words
but,
to live by.
Yep.
Well, later.
Peace
Trust
out,
witches' babies.
bitches.